Blessings! This is Amanda Amethyst, and I'm here bringing you another lunar taroscope. This one is for the time period between the new moon in Pisces on March 8th and the full moon in Libra on March 23rd, 2016. We're already in March. Wow, this year is moving by so quickly. It's been an interesting ride so far for me personally. I hope that you have been enjoying this year so far, and I hope that you're doing well right now during this particularly intense energy period. We are entering into an eclipse gateway, so not only is it a new moon on the 8th, but it is also a total solar eclipse. This is also considered to be, in Hindu tradition, the darkest new moon of the year and a celebration of Shiva. So this is considered to be a time when the veils between worlds are the thinnest. So any type of spiritual work that you wish to do at this time, right around the new moon on March 8th, will supposedly have more benefit for you and for whoever it is that you're praying for or doing a ritual for. So it's a wonderful time to take positive action to create the life of your desires. So March 8th is also International Women's Day, which is awesome. It's particularly of interest to me. I have a lot of interest in empowering the feminine as female embodied, and also just bringing about more balance between the feminine and the masculine in general, within ourselves as individuals, and also in the world between those who are embodied as women and those who are embodied as men. I'd like to share some of the messages that I've been receiving so far about this upcoming time period, and I'll also let you know which cards I will be using. As usual, for the tarot deck, I'll be using the Fifth Tarot, which is a deck created by Martine and Teresina Balkans. It's tuned to the frequencies of the new Earth, the fifth dimensional Earth, which I'll be talking a little bit more about today. And also, since it's International Women's Day, in honor of that, I will be pulling from the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck, which was created by Doreen Virtue. We'll see if any other decks want to be used, but we'll definitely be using those two today. So some of the messages that I've been receiving so far for this upcoming time period are the importance of authenticity, the importance of really being aware of and in touch with what's true for you, what is real for you in your life, in yourself, in your physical body. How do you feel? How do you feel about what's happening in your life? How do you feel about certain relationships in your life, or things that you're being asked or expected to do? Where are you at? Are you able to get a clear reading on or a clear understanding of how you feel at any given time? For some of us, this can be pretty difficult. I've spoken with many people who find this to be a bit of a challenge. A lot of us who are particularly sensitive to other people can sometimes use that sensitivity as sort of a way to not address ourselves and to not really be fully in touch with how we're feeling. We're so aware of how everybody else is feeling all the time that we get caught up in that and lose touch with our own selves. So this is true for women and for men. I know that many of us have a fear of expressing ourselves, and even beyond that, there seems to be some sort of a fear or a belief that it's not okay for us to choose ourselves over what other people wish for us to do. So as a woman, as a female embodied person, I personally have been told repeatedly in various circumstances that it was not okay for me to express my truth. It was not okay for me to express my boundaries in certain circumstances, and it was not okay for me to express how I was truly feeling in certain circumstances. And this happens to men as well. It happens a lot to men that doesn't really get addressed. Now, with this rise of the divine feminine that's happening, we hear a lot about the ways in which women have been treated, but we also need to bring a lot of awareness to the ways in which men have been treated. It has not traditionally in our culture of late been okay for men to express their emotions or to say that they're sad or hurt or to cry or to really be in touch with what their emotions even are. So this is something that we all need to address on a personal level and on a collective level. So just take some time this moon cycle or this period particularly between the eclipses, the new moon in Pisces on March 8th and the full moon in Libra on March 23rd, and really take the time to be aware of how you're feeling about things and what you actually believe in a given situation, and practice taking action from that place of honoring yourself first. Many of us have been taught that being selfish is a bad thing, and of course I'm not advocating choosing something that works for you but that is harmful or detrimental to others. We always want to keep everybody's highest good in mind when we're making actions. What I'm advocating for right now is for each of us to be aware of what is in our highest good, what feels true for us as individuals, and to know that it is okay for you to choose your highest good. You do not have to choose what somebody else is telling you to do. You do not need to choose something out of guilt or shame or fear of another person or institution's reaction to your choice. It's okay to choose yourself. It's okay to make decisions and take action based on love for yourself and knowing that you're choosing your highest good. You are the creator of your reality. It is important for you to choose yourself and your highest good, because in fulfilling your own needs, you will also be able to help others. It is safe for us to choose ourselves. It is safe for us to express ourselves, especially in this new earth, which we are all creating together. And speaking of the new earth, I was talking a little bit earlier about the fifth tarot deck and how it is attuned to the frequencies of the fifth dimensional earth. And this is the earth that many are already living in, and we are all moving towards that, which is beautiful. And something that has recently come back up in my awareness is that sometimes we may feel unbalanced or not grounded. And oftentimes we will automatically ground into the 3D earth because that's what we're used to doing, because we have a pattern of doing this. But that can still leave us feeling off balance and ungrounded. So a good practice is to center in your heart and then ground in consciously to the new earth, to the fifth dimensional earth. And this will bring you a different feeling of balance, and it will also support you in creating your life that is attuned to this fifth dimensional earth. So this will support you in the continued unfoldment of your soul purpose in this life. Another message that I received very strongly when I was tapping in before starting this video was let it go. And I just really heard it's a message from the angels to let it go. And they said it pretty forcefully, let it go. So whatever it is for you, let it go. Just sometimes we notice after a really long time that we feel like we've been holding our breath for who knows how long. Just relax, let it go. This could be a past hurt that you've been holding on to from a relationship with somebody. This could be clinging to a relationship that really needs to be let go because it's over or it has shifted into something new. I feel like that's true for some people. It could also be some quote-unquote dark secret about yourself or something that happened in your past that you've just been really fearfully clinging to and trying to hide. Just let it go. It could be an action that you haven't been able to forgive yourself for yet. Let it go. Let it go now, because as we enter this really potent time, this eclipse period between the two moons in March, this is such a huge time of activation for all of us. And if we're clinging to fear or if we're clinging to things from our past, then we won't be as open to receive all of the gifts and opportunities that are becoming available to us in these new energies between the eclipses. Okay? So whatever it is for you, let it go. All right, so now we'll begin with the reading. I'm going to pull a couple of cards from the 5th tarot deck. While I was shuffling the deck earlier to prepare for this, a couple of cards came out. One of them was sticking out, so I picked it, and the other one literally flew out of the deck. So we've already got a couple of cards. Those will be our accent cards for this reading. And then I'm going to pull, well, let's see, how many will I pull? I'll pull a couple more cards from the 5th tarot, and then we'll do a couple of cards also from the Goddess Guidance deck. So we'll have a total of 6 cards. So if 2 have already come out, here's one. And then we'll have 4 from the 5th tarot and 2 Goddess cards. Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll pull some Goddess cards as well. First one. Interesting. There we go. Okay, here's our second one. So the, oh, interesting. All right, so the first card which we pulled from the 5th tarot deck is the Cosmic Man. So whenever you're receiving a tarot reading, it's a good idea to take a look at the card and to see, does it remind you of anything? Does your eye get drawn to anything in particular in the card, in the artwork? Does it have a special significance for you that might be unique to you? Because the cards can be read, they can have different meanings in different circumstances. So you want to see, what does it mean to you before you start to take in the advice from the reader as well. So the Cosmic Man, this is a major arcana card. This signifies a particular point on the soul's journey through life. It's also a soul essence suit, the ether suit. So this is a major step for all of us in our path through this lifetime. This person is diving into the cosmos, and it looks like he's diving through strands of DNA. So this, to me, is activating more strands of our cosmic DNA, diving further into our cosmic gifts and abilities, and also remaining aware of our connection to the earth. As you can see that he's still right near the earth. He's also suspended, so he has taken action and is well on his way on this journey, but he's also still at this particular point that we're seeing him. He's still, he's resting in stillness, and perhaps sometimes when we are still like this, it can feel like a setback, or it can be a little bit frustrating. But just knowing that everything is in divine timing. Everything is in divine timing, and when the gateway opens up, when the right door opens up, you'll be right there ready to go. Let's see. There's a lot of serpent energy in this as well. The strands of DNA sort of look like serpents. And there's also a silver and a gold. So again, the balancing of the masculine and feminine. Silver is considered to be the color of the goddess, the heart of the goddess, the energy of the goddess. Gold is considered to be the color of the god, the masculine. So this is really balancing out the masculine and feminine, activating new parts of our DNA so that we have access to all of our gifts and abilities, and taking the leap of faith and knowing that things might not open up for us in the way that we're expecting them to. So releasing our expectations. That's another thing that we can let go of. So this person has totally let go. He's just like hanging out there. He's let go. He has a vision for what he wishes to create in his life, and he's taken an action step towards that, and he's holding on to his faith, but he has released his expectations of how that should come about, or what it should look like, or what timeline even it should come about in. I'm an Aries, so sometimes I get a little, in the past I've been pretty impatient with wanting things to just happen immediately. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Why isn't this happening yet? So just having that patience as well with ourselves, and it also is faith, understanding that everything is in divine timing. So Cosmic Man, card number 12, which is a 3, which is the month of March. And then the Elementor of Stones. This is the second card that we pulled. The Elementor of Stones, this is the Earth suit. So this is our physical bodies, our day-to-day lives, our finances, and this being, this being is completely in her power. She's totally grounded. It's interesting that I felt called to share that grounding earlier. She's completely grounded and centered in herself. She's completely connected to the earth, and also in tune with the music of the spheres. The sun and the moon are in the background. So she knows her place in the cosmos and in the earth. And she is also centered. There's this central line. There's this central line through this being. Her heart being very expansive, but also rooted down through her dantian, through her solar plexus, and then she's also giving back. She's giving back her blood to the earth, which I highly recommend doing if you are a woman, to collect your flow, your menstrual flow, your blood, to gift back to the earth, for the earth and for all of our relations. If you're not a woman, you can still give back to the earth in prayer. This is also a very balanced card between day and night, warmth and coolness. So resting, and again, both of these beings are resting. They are still. So being still, taking time for meditation, and not jumping into things. The tendency, especially with Aries, as we will be moving, the sun will be moving into Aries during this time period on the 19th. And a tendency of Aries is to sort of leap before you look. This is saying stay grounded, stay centered, and move slowly. Of course, there may be things that come up that require quick action. Do what you need to do. Just make sure that you have meditated on it first, or that you've really thought it through before you just say yes, or before you move, or whatever the case may be for you. The other two cards that had already come up before I started the video, the Four of Shells, Gentleness, which we got somewhat recently. This is the water suit, so this has to do with our emotional body, all of the things that lie beneath the surface. And it's also a 4, which is a foundational number. So this is reminding us to be really gentle with ourselves and with others, especially as we're going through energetically intense times, which it seems like that's just where we live now, is in intense energy. But especially this time period between the eclipses, there's going to be a lot of new information coming available to us. There are going to be a lot of new energies coming into our solar system, into the Earth's atmosphere, into our physical bodies and our energy bodies. So just taking time to be gentle with yourself and to make sure that you're allowing yourself enough time to integrate all of these new energies and messages that are available. Also, being very gentle with others. This stingray has the ability to really cause some damage. So just be aware that you also have this ability to cause a lot of damage to people in your life. It could be friends or family members, beloved ones. It could just be somebody on the street that, if we speak carelessly, we can really hurt somebody. We can really affect somebody's day in a way that we don't truly wish to do. So staying grounded in gentleness, having a foundation of gentleness to move forward from. The other card that came up is another Lotus suit, one of Lotus expansion. So again, here we see this helix spiral of golden light. We see this being in stillness, potentially in meditation. And she is expanding her heart, she's expanding her third eye, she's expanding her soul star chakra. And her crown, her halo is illuminated. This card shares the gift of the entire suit of Lotus. The Lotus suit is referring to our spiritual gifts, our multidimensional gifts and abilities. So our perception beyond the original senses of sight, smell, touch, taste, and feel. So extrasensory abilities, our perception, our ability to be in multiple places at the same time, our ability to move between timelines and dimensions and different they're just wanting me to say timelines and dimensions right now. So our ability to move between worlds, all of these things, all of these gifts are in you and are available to you. The way that we can unlock them is through going deeper within, activating parts of our DNA, again I'm seeing with the spiral, and meditation, really coming back to our center through our hearts. Through our hearts is a really beautiful way. Our hearts are our gateways to other dimensions. This card also has a lot of beautiful purple energy. So spiritual connection, prayer and meditation. Prayer is our way of communicating to source energy, and meditation is our way of receiving energy from source. And just like breathing in and breathing out, to be balanced, we need both. So we don't want to just be talking the whole time, but it is important to maintain a two-way stream of communication. Okay, let's take a look at the goddess cards. The first goddess card is Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. Sedna is an ocean goddess. She is revered in Alaskan Native tradition, Inupiaq Eskimo tradition in particular. And she is the mother of all of the sea creatures. March 22nd is World Water Day. So bringing our awareness to the ocean and to all of the creatures that live in the ocean is very important at this time. We have been destroying the oceans without really knowing what we're destroying because we don't fully understand the ocean ecosystems. So taking some sort of action to stand up for the rights of our relations who cannot speak the same way that we can, the whales, the seals, the dolphins, the fish, all of the beings who live in the ocean. Also, Sedna is a goddess who, of course, the Eskimo people their food source comes from the ocean. So they would pray to Sedna, and the shamans of these tribes would journey to the bottom of the ocean to comb her hair because she lost her fingers in an accident. And actually that's where all of the sea creatures sprung forth from her own body, from her fingers. But anyways, she couldn't comb her hair because she didn't have fingers, and so they would journey to her to soothe her and to comb out her hair. And you can see her hair is glowing in this picture. So also bringing awareness to our own hair. We store a lot of energy in our hair, so combing it out with intention of clearing the energy that we're holding on to in that space, just clearing out the energy around our head. And so she also is really a loving goddess who is telling us that we are supplied, we are taken care of now and always. All of your needs are met in this present moment and always. If you ever have a doubt or a fear about that, you can pray to Sedna. Our last card, is Una. Una, take it easy, or easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Okay? She is a goddess who turned herself into a leprechaun. She's one of the Tuatha De Danann, the beings who chose to follow Dana into the elemental realm. So they still live in Ireland as the leprechauns. So you can connect with Una out in nature. Being out in nature is another beautiful way to ground and center yourself, to balance yourself. And she's bringing us a message of peace with this dove and also with the rainbow. And just reminding us to take it easy on ourselves, to be gentle with ourselves and others, and also to not rush into things like we were talking about earlier. Knowing that you are provided for and that everything is happening in perfect timing, my dears. It's perfect timing. Okay, so there's a lot of expansion this moon cycle, and there is also a lot of balance. So we're balancing this new growth and exploration of all of our new abilities and gifts, and manifesting our desires. We're balancing that with stillness and with not rushing into things. This has been a general reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can contact me at nectarofthegoddesstemple@gmail.com, and I'll have my website up and running soon by the time of the next video. Yay! So many blessings to all of you. Much love.